Hey everyone, welcome back. And we're going to be talking about 4D again. Most of this is going to be able to be done in calculator. So I've written the formula for doing this by hand up on the whiteboard. We're not going to be doing most of it by hand. We're going to be using that same application that I showed you earlier. So calculate the monthly payment, which is PMT, for a student loan that is current value of it. Let's see, it's for 14 years. So 14 times 12 for your monthly payments. It's a 6% APR. Right now, it's got a value of $74,876. You want it to have a final value of $0. Interest calculated 12 times a year. You're going to make 12 payments a year, and we're going to alpha solve that. And we figure out that we have to make a payment. See, this is negative because we're paying. We're losing the money when we make the payment against the debt. So that is $659.83. And it's just because, if I would have started off with the present value of the loan being negative because it was a debt, then my payment would have been positive. We're just going to have opposite values of one another. It's an accounting thing. I'm going to go in here and I'm just going to change these values. This a 25-year loan now at 8.7%, and present value of the loan is $130,257, and we want to pay it off in 25 years. So we're going to solve this, and we get that our payment is going to have to be $1,066.48. Again, we could use this formula, we'll get the same thing, but why do that when the formulas are all built into the calculator here and you're told to buy the calculator for the class? Home mortgage, so present value of $99,000 and an APR of 3.6%. And it's a 15-year mortgage. And to figure out our monthly payment, it's going to be $712.61. Then we got here is going to be $523,000, 3% APR, 15 years, same number of payments there. So this is $3,611.74. I'm going to calculate the monthly payment for a loan of $11,000. Fixed APR of 7% over a period of 4 years. And going to be $263.41 for the payment. Okay. Moving right along to number 6. Determine the total payment over the term of the student loan. This is slightly different, not that different, but 35,604 is the present value of the loan. APR 7%, 16 years. I'm going to figure out the monthly payment here, which was $308.76, and then I'm going to have to take the $308.76 times the number of payments, 192. So 308.76 times the 192 payments. It's going to give me a total amount that I've paid of $59,281.92. Look at that. This is, look at, you've borrowed $35,000 and you had to pay back over $59,000 because you had to pay over $23,000 in interest for the benefit of being able to borrow that money from somebody else. So that's not just free money that, you know, you borrow 35,604. That's not just what you're paying back someday. You're probably paying back, you know, 150% of that, roughly, if they can, you know, do that, because that's how they make their money. They make their money off of the interest that you pay. And so anyways, this is one of the key concepts here, is that you're going to be paying a lot more to borrow money that isn't yours when you have to pay interest like this, than to just use your own money and to save. Make the bank pay you interest, not the other way around. All right. Apps. TV software. All right, let's come back here. So we've got 30 years. (8.5%) present value. Want to find the payment. Find the payment to be $1,198.02 for 360 payments. 1102 times 360. So this is 360 times we're going to pay I think the difference between the answers here are due to rounding. that she didn't round until the end. So let me go back and get this value here. Mars 2. N times that. Okay, so yes, that's how you get the 57 cents. She's not rounding the payments. I think you should, because you're only going to pay to the nearest cent. And then you're going to pay that a certain number of times, but whatever. If you had just used this formula, if you had taken payments times the number of payments, you would have come up with this more exact figure for what the total value of the loan was, and it would have become 57 cents. That's why the answer key says 57 here. So we'll go with that. Hope you guys understand, though, rounding error can be significant to the lender or the borrower. So, what was that? 37 cents may not seem like a big deal, but 37 cents here and there for a company that all they do, like a bank, is loan out money, that could be thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe even more. So little errors like that add up to big things that have to be very careful with accounting. That's why I'm not an accountant. Determine the total payments over the term of the home mortgage. So we're just going to go with the solver here. Home mortgage is $120,000, fixed rate 4%, 25 years. So 25 times 12, fixed rate 4%. Present value of the mortgage is 120,000. We're going to solve that. Then we're going to come back and we're going to do this same thing here. We're going to say that it's $190,021.26. Okay, so determine how much of the total loan payment applies toward principal and how much is applied toward interest. So all we're doing is we're taking the total amount at the end, the final value, minus the present value to get the interest when we're done. So let's go ahead and show you that we're going to have a student loan that's for 19 years. It has an interest rate of 8%. Its value is $68,472. And we're going to solve this. So we got a payment here of $585.09. So what our monthly payment would be. We're going to go ahead though, and we're going to find this here, but we want to subtract now the present value, the principal. And so we want to, oops, hang on, that was a negative number. That plus. So yeah, watch out for your signs. So that since this was a negative number, the opposite of it is going to be positive. So we're going to have interest is going to be 64,929.47, and my principal is going to be 68,472. Okay. We got another one like that. Let's go ahead and come here and say this is $15 years. Its interest rate is 4.4%. Its present value is 136,538. So I have a payment there of $1,037. $0.54. I'm gonna go out and do my calculation here to say that my interest was $50,219.55, and my principal was $136,538. Okay, so moving right along, assume you have a balance of $32,000 on your credit card that you want to pay off. Calculate your monthly payment and total payments under the given conditions. Assume you make no additional charges to your card during that time. Okay, this is basically the same thing. We're coming in here. We're saying that the APR of the card is 18%. You want to pay off the balance in 1 year. So 12 times 1 is 12. This is 18%. Present value of the card is $3,200. We want the future value to be 0. Alpha solve. That means we're going to have to pay $293.38 a month. And I'm just going to multiply that out. Let's get the variables here. N times payments. It's going to be right? See how they're using the numbers that we got from the calculator here. So just go ahead and use the calculator to get these, to get the answers that she has here. Otherwise, if you had done this, you would have gotten 56. See that? That's not what she wanted. So, all right, go ahead and let's do the next one here. 21% APR paid off in 2 years, so that's 24 months, 21%, same principal. Alpha, solve, we get 164.43. What I really care about is this number here. Which is going to be $3,946.42. That is 12. Scrolling on down here to number 13. Do this again with, this is 3 years now. This is a 20% APR. Same thing. This is going to be $118.92. We're not using that rounded value to calculate this. Then we're going to get 281.24. Come back and do this again. And again, have a 20% APR. We're going to have 4 years to pay off our debt this time. Alpha solve. So that's going to be $97.37. And when we come back, this is going to be so you can see that as you lower your monthly payment here, you are going to increase the amount that you're going to have to pay because to decrease your monthly payment, you're going to have to increase your total number of payments, and there's going to be more interest calculated in that time. So lowering your monthly payment is not really a way for you to save money. You're going to end up paying more money over the entire life of the loan. That's what the point of that exercise was. You have the same amount of debt to pay off. The faster you can pay it off with the higher monthly payments, the less interest you're going to pay, with the exception if some of the loans have a clause written in there that you can't pay it off any faster without a penalty. And they do that on purpose because they want to make sure you don't take out a loan where they expect to make a certain amount of interest and then you pay it off a lot faster than that, and they don't make that interest because that interest is how they stay in business. So sometimes they write penalties into the agreements, and you need to read that very carefully. Okay, let's read the next one. You need $89,515 on a loan. Compute the monthly payment for each of the loan options listed below. Assume that the loans are fixed rate loans. So we've got two different loans to compare here, and we're going to be comparing the monthly payment for each. So we're going to be solving for monthly payment here. We've got a 30-year loan. with an APR of 8%, and the loan value was $89,515, and we want to find that monthly payment is going to be $656.83. Now, if we change the terms of that loan to pay it off instead in 15 years, and we have a slightly lower interest rate as well, then we should have higher monthly payment. Trying to pay the loan off faster. If all we're concerned about is the monthly payment, we'd go with this option, but we already saw in the last problem that's going to give us a much greater amount of money that we pay over the life of the loan there. So let's go ahead and do this next one. We have a 30-year loan. %, and the value of the loan is $119,286. Calculate that payment. $875.28. And we've got a 15-year loan. %, and $1,072.18. All right. Moving right along to number 17. Need $120,690. First loan option is 7.15% for 30 years. It's going to be a $815.15 payment. If we change this instead to a 15-year option, it's 6.75%. Keep the value of the loan the same. Our payment is going to change to be $1,068.00 because this 7 is going to make that 99 round up to 100. So careful with that rounding there. Number 18, you need $193,854. Going to have a 30-year loan, so we're back to 360 payments here. 7.25%. The payment is going to be calculated to be $1,322.43. We're going to go for the 15-year option at 6.8%. And we're going to get $1,720.81 for our payment. So those are some ways in which you can compare monthly payments. If you calculate each one individually. You can see which one is going to be the higher monthly payment. The higher monthly payment is going to get the loan paid off faster, and you're usually going to be offered a lower interest rate on it as well for you paying the debt off faster. That's them being nice to you because they want to get their money back so they can lend it to somebody else, right? So suppose that you need a loan for $80,000. Find the total cost of all the monthly payments for each of the loan options listed below, and assume that the loans are fixed rate. So we are going to look at option 1 is going to be a 30-year loan with an APR of 8%, and its present value was $80,000. That means that the payment for that should be $587.01. I calculate that out here. That means that the value of that loan should be $211,324.20. So that immediately eliminates every option other than option C, because that's the only one with the rounded to the nearest dollar. There is how they rounded it. But let's go ahead and let's calculate option 2 just to be absolutely sure. And we have a 15-year loan, and it's going to be a 7% APR, same amount of money. Monthly payment would be $719.06. Going to come out again. We're going to round this to the nearest dollar. So this is going to be $129,431. And that would be option C in the multiple choice. So let's clear that. This is going to be C. It's going to be the correct answer there. Okay, you need a loan of $100,000 to buy a condo. Calculate your monthly payment and total closing costs. Okay, so closing costs are going to be based off of points here, and given there. So let's go ahead and, let's just show you the two options here. A 30-year fixed rate loan. So you're going to apps, finance, TMV solver. You've got a 30-year fixed rate, 4% mortgage, and this was $100,000. So your payment on the first option here is going to be, your monthly payment is going to be $477.42. Now your closing costs are going to be 0 points. So there's no closing costs other than this number over here, 1194. So your total cost is going to be this plus, it's going to be minus because that's a negative, minus 1194. My total cost on that side is going to be let's put them all on this side. 1194. So we're going to get a total cost here of 173,063.50. I'm going to come to this other side over here. And this is going to be 20 years and a lower interest rate, 3.5%. Same $100,000 that you're borrowing. Payment here is going to be $579.96. I'm really not going to use that payment though. What I am going to do is I'm going to use this, say minus, and then this is going to be 1194, and I need to also pay 2% of the $100,000 that I want to borrow as well immediately. So that's a total amount here on this side of 142,384.33. The closing costs here, just for comparison, with $3,194, because 2 points on this $100,000 here was going to be $2,000 added to that. So which one is the better deal? The 142,000 or the 173,000? Choice 2 is the better option. Okay, just a second here. So let's do another one of these. 30 years. And 4.5%. And same $100,000. No points. So we're going to have a monthly payment over here on the side of $506.69. Closing costs, again, were a simple 1, 3, 4, 1 with no points. Let's compare that over here with my 20-year option with a simple 4% interest rate and make this 605.98. My closing costs here, the 4 points here, are going to be $4,000. So I'm going to have to pay $5,341 in closing costs here. So if I compare those two options on which I paid more for, with my monthly payment for 30 years or my monthly payment for 20 years plus my closing costs, and this one, choice 1 is the better choice. show you that. So this is going to be, look at this was, make sure that I got this right. 30. This is 4.5. $506. So so gonna come back to the home screen here. 506.69 times 12 payments a year times 30 years plus closing costs of $1,341. The total cost on this side of 183,749.40. On the other side is going to be my 605.98 payment times 12 payments a year times 20 years plus my closing costs of $5,341 was $150,000. $776.20. We should write this down wrong. The options there, which one do you pay more for? Should go with choice 2, it looks like, right? Because you would save not quite $33,000 that way. Okay. On to number 22. 30-year fixed rate 4.25%. 30-year 4.25%. Same amount of money. Solve. This is going to be a payment of $491.94 on that side. 1 point closing costs, so that's going to be an extra $1,000 I'm going to pay. In closing costs, this is going to be $2,261 on this side in closing costs. And on this side, I'm going to have $4,261 in closing costs, plus this is going to be 3.75% and a 20-year loan. So that payment is going to be $592.89. payment. And let's just go ahead and compare those numbers. 491.94 times 12 times 30 plus 2261. And on the other side is 592.89 times 12 times 20 plus 42.61. And we get again that choice 2 is the better option here. So I think I calculated everything the right way. They only ask you to figure out the monthly payment and the closing costs, but your goal in doing that was to compare the two things. So I went the step further of figuring out the total costs to you and comparing each loan and saying which one should you choose based off of the total cost, closing costs, and the monthly payment cost, because that's really what you're going to be comparing. Bottom line is all of that together. All right, suppose you have a student loan, $90,000. So a $90,000 student loan. APR is 7%, and you want this for 30 years. So right now, that monthly payment is $598.77. If you decide instead that you want to pay this off in 15 years, in half the time, assuming that the interest rate doesn't change for that, the payment would change to be $808.95. So your difference in your payments is going to be $210.18 a month. That's two problems. We have a choice between a 30-year fixed rate loan at 4.5%, and a ARM. We'll talk about what an ARM is here in a second. With a first year rate of 2.5%, the ARM raises to 6.5% starting on the third year, neglecting compounding interest, compounding and charges in principal. Estimate your monthly savings with the ARM during the first year on a $180,000 loan. All right, I actually don't need this calculator because it's just for the first year. So first year, when you use this interest rate, so for the first year, since everything is basically interest payments in the first year, we're going to take the principal times the interest rate times the time of 1 year, right? And this is just the beginning of basically any loan is almost no interest payment. So you're going to, in the first year, you're going to pay $4,500 in interest, which is basically going to be what your payments are going to be in the first year on the fixed rate. This is fixed rate. Your ARM is your adjustable rate mortgage. And this is so that the bank can make its money back and doesn't lose money, giving you a good rate now when the interest rates are going to go up later. So they can adjust the rates, and you pay, usually you pay so many points above prime is what it's called. And they adjust or fluctuate during the life of the loan. So, so what are you going to do? You're going to calculate this 2.5% instead. Sorry, 4.5% was with the fixed rate. This is the ARM. That's sloppy. Let me fix that. This is the ARM. So fixed rate, you're paying about $8,100. That seems like now this is over the year, right? And so they're asking you your monthly savings. So I'm going to find the total difference here. 8,100 minus 4,500. And I'm going to split that up into 12 because it says per month. So I'd be saving $300 a month for the first year. I'm not saving after that though, right? So just to, for reference, where I'm saving $300 a month here because the interest rate here is 2 percentage points lower. Here, the percentage rate is 2 points higher. So I'm going to be paying at least an extra $300 a month, maybe more, because of compounding and things later. So, but we were supposed to ignore all that. So now we need a loan of $120,000 to buy a home. You have a choice between a 30-year fixed loan at 4%, with the first year at 2%. ARM is another option. Suppose that the ARM raises to 7% for the third year, neglecting the compounding changes of principles. Whatever, how much extra will you be paying during the third year? Again, we're assuming since we're at the beginning that we're paying basically interest-only payments. So on that third year, we should be paying roughly $20,000 times 4%. This is roughly on our fixed rate. Our payments will be roughly $4,800 a year. On our ARM that year, this is going to be roughly $8,400 that year. And the question here is, how much extra would you be paying a month? So we're going to take 8,400 minus 4,800, and then we're going to divide that by 12. And we're going to get that we would be paying an extra $300 a month this way. All right, that's it for this one. And have your calculators ready for everything in the future, because as you saw here today, and as you're definitely going to see going into chapter 5 and chapter 9, we're going to be using the calculator a whole lot to make these problems go faster, because we don't want to do nasty formulas by hand, especially when we get into statistics where the calculator just does everything for us in a nice menu. So go ahead and make sure that you have your TI 83 or TI 84. If you don't have one, you can buy one from the bookstore. All right, that's it. Have a good day.